and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on this wonderful day. We have a very royal show for you. Today we have three special contestants, one of which is Alberti. Welcome, Alberti. Woo! Everybody give Alberti a round of applause. And for our second guest, we have Erasmus. Everybody give Erasmus a round of applause. Woo! And for our third and last but not least, we have Castiglione. Everybody give Castiglione a round of applause. Woo! And for our very special lady, we have Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth, why don't you go ahead and come on out. So now we've had Queen Elizabeth in a soundproof booth so that we can conceal the identity for all of the contestants. So she doesn't know who they are, but they know who she is. And go ahead, Queen Elizabeth, why don't you go ahead and ask them a few questions so that we can make sure that you ask the right person out on their date.
Well, thank you. Contestant number 2, I'm going to start off with you. One of my hobbies is reading. Which books do you recommend?
Well, I don't really care what you read, but you just can't read Latin because you're a woman and I don't want you to be educated.
Oh, well that's rude. How about you, contestant number 1?
Well, you're not supposed to read, but if you insist, you can read anything, but just do not read a man's financial records.
Well, how do you know I don't know them already? Contestant number 3, what do you consider to be a perfect woman?
Well, I think there's no such thing as a perfect woman because they're all imperfect versions of men. So I guess you could say my perfect woman would be a man.
Ouch, that hurts. How about you, contestant number 2?
My perfect woman must be a virgin. She can't talk too much and she has to do everything I say with no questions asked.
Well, that's going to be pretty hard, seeing that I am the queen. Contestant number 1, what do you have to say to that?
Well, my perfect woman would be more of a trophy to add to my collection than a wife or a lover.
Well, I do wear a crown.
Oh, well, hopefully someone thinks that Queen Elizabeth is the perfect woman on her special date. And it looks like nobody's going to be doing any reading on that date. And now we'll cut to a commercial break for a word from our sponsors.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, Billy Mays here for Axon. Are you constantly annoyed by nosy females, nagging wives, and worthless women heirs? Fear no more, let their heads hit the floor. The revolutionary new Axoff employs wood and iron technology that is ideal for removing the heads of unwanted females. Order now and receive 2 Axoff head separators for the price of 1. Buy one today and your wife will obey.
And welcome back from that wonderful word from our sponsors. I am your host, Sir Joseph of the City of Diamonds. And let's continue the show going by having Queen Elizabeth go ahead and ask the next question. Queen Elizabeth, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Joseph.
That's Sir Joseph to you.
Well, if you remember, I gave you that title so I could take that same sword I used to knight you to chop off your manhood, sir.
Ooh, I hope not.
Yeah, me too. Moving on. Contestant number 2, I've been thinking about going back to college. Would you support my decision?
No, I don't think I'd support you going back to college because women weren't meant to be intellectual. They're more meant to be objects of my pleasure.
Well, that doesn't pleasure me very much. Contestant number 3, when you're looking for a date, what certain qualities do you look for in a woman?
Well, the only thing I look for in a woman is beauty because that's all that matters.
Ooh-wee, I'm pretty beautiful, so we might hit off there. How about you, contestant number 1?
Well, I look for a woman who doesn't act out of line and speaks only when spoken to.
Well, I sure like to speak my mind, so we might butt heads there. Contestant number 3, what did you think of my predecessor, Mary?
Well, I liked her a lot because of the fact that she died real quick, and that's what a queen should do.
Well, I don't plan on dying anytime soon, thank you. How about you, contestant number 1?
Well, I also agree with the fact that she died quickly. She was just a typical woman who didn't know how to run the kingdom like a businessman would know how to.
Well, my kingdom's running quite fine, so you both can suck it.
And now we'll cut to a commercial break for a word from our sponsors.
The Royal Jousting Tournament at the London Amphitheatre, featuring your favorite knights, Sir Joseph of Canterbury, Sir Arthur of Camelot, and the Black Knight.
Don't miss the second annual barbecue with cook-off. Tickets are just $10. The first 100 people in the gate get a can of natural wine. Tickets available at Ticketmaster or study barbecue locations in Orlando. Sunday, this 4th of July weekend.
And welcome back to our show, and we're about to conclude it by having Queen Elizabeth ask her final question and have her decide who she's going to take on her lucky day. Queen Elizabeth, take it away.
Well, for my final question, contestant number 2, what is one way a woman can empower herself?
Well, I think the only way a woman can empower herself is by using her spinning wheel. That's all she's good at, so I think that all women should do is be in charge of our fashion.
Wow, I have a spinning wheel, but that seems a bit harsh. How about you, contestant number 3?
Well, I think the best way for a woman to have power is always present herself beautifully. She must look pretty and act sweetly in order to be noticed at all.
Well, I'm noticed every day, and I'm beautiful, so go me. How about you, contestant number 1?
Well, I think the power of a woman is to be behind a man. The man should make all the decisions.
Well, I've made plenty decisions, I'd say, and since I'm the queen, I think I'm doing pretty good.
Well, those have been all of the questions that Queen Elizabeth has to ask for today. So why don't we go ahead and have her decide who she's going to take on that lucky special royal date.
Yikes. Well, I didn't like any of the answers. I can smell all 3 of you from way over here. You all seem like pigs. I really just want to chop your heads off. But since this is a game, I'll let all 3 of you go. But good luck getting any women after this show because, well, you all seem like just jerks. I don't like you. Get out of my face. Don't ever see me again.
You go, girl!
Sorry, laughing.
And now we'll cut to a commercial break for a word from our sponsors. When you are. Mail Air Marine, Mail Air Marine, guarantee yourself you'll be living. Mail Air Marine, Mail Air Marine, guarantee yourself a thing. Mail Air Marine, the Naturals birth control supplement that guarantees your next of kin is a him. If you're a queen and you're in a bind and need to make sure that your next heir is a male heir, this is the proper birth control supplement for you. Mail Air Marine, Mail Air Marine, guarantee yourself a king. Mail Air Marine, Mail Air Marine, guarantee yourself